Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim and Kelly here with Creative Plan Podcast Network. It is August the 20th for hashtag RPGaDAY2020. And Kelly's been looking into what the word of the day is.
It's investigate.
So you have sleuthed out the word of the day, I see.
Yes, I had my little cheat sheet that led me in the right direction, apparently. Or at least gave me the clue.
The very important clue for the detective to investigate the crime.
Yes.
So investigate
is a hard one.
I thought it was a pretty loaded word for the day, because there's lots you do in investigation, like, adventures doing the whole perception check to investigate for traps.
Yeah, but I always just use perception for that typically, so.
Well, it's true. Now in 5th edition, you've got the actual investigate skill, so it's doing the whole Prince Humperdinck, Princess Bride thing of where he's investigating the fight scenes to describe how that they played out. That's always a good example of investigate versus perception.
It tells you how long it's been since I played a rogue.
True. Searching for traps has changed from a skill strictly called searching for traps or search to now perception or investigate.
Yeah. And I know in like Scion, you can take it as a it's not a skill, it's a
the boon, instant investigation.
Investigation. Carrie always has that because she always plays ex-cops, and so they usually have it's an attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In Scion they call it attributes. Hers usually always has at least 3 dots in it. Me?
You don't need to know how the murder scene played out.
Yeah, no, usually I'm like, nah, I don't care, let somebody else investigate.
So I know for me, I was going to throw out for investigate my top 3 RPGs to use for an investigation. Because you know me, I'm a huge fan of the old detective movies and detective stories in general. But as much as I like D&D, D&D is not a good one for running a detective story. So for investigate, I'd like to say my top 3 RPGs to do investigations in for a story, which can always be an awesome story. If you look up any of the pulp books and the old classic gumshoes, my number 1 has to be Call of Cthulhu, because the whole kind of game is wrapped around the investigation of the unknown. So,
yeah, I've never never played that game, because, you're just going to become insane.
Dead, crippled, or insane. That's usually the end of a adventure.
Yeah.
But the system is really tailor-made for investigations. My next favorite one, though, is going to be Fate or Dresden Files, because it uses the Fate system. That's a really good one for using for investigation style stories, because come on, it's Dresden Files. It's literally gumshoe book. So they make sure to tailor make
Wizard for hire.
They tailor make the system for investigation, a thing, You've got the options of different ways to investigate. You've got the uses of stunts to help improve your investigation. Like one stunt lets your character who's maybe weak in the attribute investigate use a different attribute for investigate. So they can do the monk thing where they just kind of like look in their fugue state and take in the whole crime scene at once. And then,
and you can have aspects.
So that way you can have aspects of like, what was that TV show where the guy, Psych on USA?
I love Psych. Oh my God, I love that show.
Where all of a sudden the player could be sitting at the table with the GM in a different scene and say, I'm going to use my fate point to invoke my stunt for incident investigator to recall a fact that's current to this scene. And you could totally play out, you could retcon the investigation to have them pop off the whole Columbo style out of nowhere. I have the big answer because you have red clay on your shoes. Which, as a GM or storyteller and player, side by side, it's a great system for that because the GM can also feed fate points to further the investigation. You can always say, okay, Kelly, your character is a hard-boiled cop. You think this is the suspect. You're going to push him hard for a fate point. And then, because I want you to get that last intel out of the guy rather than you just giving up the interrogation. So then the guy can have that classic TV style breakdown at the interrogation room of, okay, I didn't do it, but let me tell you who my suspect is. And you further along the murder mystery, because I know you love murder mysteries and investigates.
I do. I like, and I like the old school ones. I love, period ones, like the 20s and actually I love Brother Cadfile, so let's go back even further, just, they're a lot of fun.
And, if worst comes to worst, a GM can always do it like the old Pope investigations of the lights turn off and one of the red herrings dies. Boom. Investigation is furthered.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of murder mystery parties too. And it's not LARPing.
It's totally LARPing.
It's not.
There is live action and there is role play.
It's not LARPing.
But hey,
it's role play.
If there's food and no buffer combat, it's good LARP.
I always write extra characters.
Always. You guys do a fantastic job of your murder mysteries, just like at Rincon. You and Carrie write your murder mysteries.
Yeah, except for this year.
Well, you never know. We can, just like this weekend with UK Expo being all online gaming, maybe you can do an online mini murder mystery.
Yeah, no, I don't think Carrie would be up for it.
Okay. You never know. Never say never. It's still.
I can investigate further on that.
Well played, Kelly. So my third option for great RPGs for investigate is also City of Mist, which is literally an RPG, uses the Powered by the Apocalypse system, totally pulp noir investigation, which is totally made for an investigations storyline. Which it has cool things where you use the Apocalypse system where the player basically states what their intention is, and then you roll the dice, and either something good happens, something bad happens, or something awesome happens.
See, I have not played that one.
Well, you've kind of played it. It's the same mechanic as that zombie game where you roll the 2d6.
Yeah, but I haven't played City of Mist.
Well, we'll have to get you playing that. That's the one I was telling you about, where you play a rift, an archetype of some, character, like the goddess Athena, or, Briar Rabbit, or, Jack Frost.
Okay.
Where you can be the aspect of something. You can be I'm a trucker who embodies Hercules. Yes, he picks up his truck to change the tire.
Not Briar Rabbit. That's not. It's not PC.
Oh, well, the concept, it's the concept. So it could be Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Or worse, you could have a bad guy based on the Red Queen.
Ooh.
Could totally see a gangster mobster who always wears a red zoot suit, and he is the embodiment of the Red Queen.
Off with their heads.
I could just see that as the thing, and that's the cool thing with City of Mist is it's a fictional noir city that's based on every stereotype out there because each stereotype embodies something. And you as a group can get together and kind of like city build, sort of like in Dresden Files, of
I like that.
I want to play against this bad guy and this bad guy based on this and on this. And like some of the examples for City of Mist they give you is Hades is the underworld manipulator of the city, which I would make someone else the big boss of the town, but it's interesting how he breaks Hades into 3 different personas. You have a spy master who's a echidna.
Oh, okay. The mother of monsters.
Uh-huh. And then you've got different concepts out there that are, like kitsune. One of the players is actually the embodiment of a kitsune.
Nine-tailed?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
So, and the way City of Mist plays is your character is the person they are and the mythic being that they are. So you have your logos, which is what you are 9 to 5, and then your mythos, which is what you are when you're doing your vigilante thing or your extra investigator thing.
Sounds a little like Scion.
Yeah, it's definitely got that Scion feel because you could end up going godly or you can go just storybook concept, So you could totally have your character, 2/3 of your character is you're a soccer mom. So one of your things could be soccer van. Part of the character's thing is they have a soccer mom van. That's a thing that your character can constantly use in the game, which that could come in handy when the group needs to get across town.
Or as my sister would say, it's not a van. It's not a minivan. It's a crossover vehicle. Yeah, Gary, right?
And, because it's a soccer mom van, if you're fleeing a crime scene, just drive casual. Use your soccer mom van as a good escape because what cop's going to look twice as a soccer mom's driving off? Who knew that her mythical part is she's the Oracle? So she basically gets to do that whole bit like an Angel, the TV show, where she's the one who does the whole Callista thing of here's where the crime's going to happen, here's where we need to be. I'm free between 4 and 6 before I have to pick the kids up. And go.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but it's a great system for investigations because, you can totally play off all the historical, whodunit / crime jobs / heist jobs. And it's a great excuse because you're actually stealing. They're motivated by their concept, which is the great, train robbery. Okay, well, somebody steals in a armored car in the spirit of the great train robbery. You could have a bad guy who's the rift of Billy the Kid.
Huh.
So it's really good one for investigate. So cool. Did I inspire anything for you to investigate?
Actually, yeah. I mean, I'll have to look into things further.
That's what I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to investigate further for #RPGaDAY2020. And the word for tomorrow is
push.
See, I didn't have to push the answer out of you because I knew you investigated it already.
That's true. I did. I have my little sheet.
Alrighty, guys. That's a good place to wrap up August the 20th for Investigate. If you have any RPGs you think would be good for investigations that I didn't mention, feel free to comment in the show, by the way. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.